So one more time. Politics has society at its right, yes, and economy is also right of society. And then we should have inventions in science. Okay, so that one's nothing. Alright. That's how we are going to interpret that one. Good. Now let's see if we can find... There was something more in the typewriter. There was something, right? No? Okay, how about this one then? Sir, as the agency receives numerous dispatches, the filing system that you made appears to be too small, particularly for the world and society sections, which cover too much area and overflow into the boxes below. Police, law and culture, respectively. Would you be able to furnish a device in order to keep only one filing cabinet? To the boxes below. What? Then world must be up and culture must be below society and police law be... Okay, that's right. Let's see if we can find this one. No, we can't be. I could. I'm not totally sure. Keep it there for a moment, right? We need one more. Oh, there is one. My dear George, your little brother has had some misfortune. My first week of work was very grueling. First I was given a spot far from the stove and I am very cold in the morning. Next I have to sort through these dispatches, the most tedious and boring work imaginable. Yeah, one can discuss that once. Once the work is done, I must take each envelope to the journalist in question, who won't even deign to look at me. I can't pronounce that one. Finally, at the end of my third day, the boss called me to his office to give me a sermon. It seems that I mixed up the dispatches. I was so worn out that could only protest half-heartedly. He gave me a second chance. Now I'm in a sticky situation. The only hopeful note comes from my colleague, Miss Filthin, a charming young woman who is the only one to give me a smile. Yes, she helps me as much as she can and tries to prompt me regarding which compartment I should put my dispatches. Because everyone here knows the order of the sections, but no one has bothered to tell me. The lady has so much compassion and slides me notes such as politics and society are on the side. Sports is underneath economy. Personalities is at the end of the row. Front page news is the first compartment, etc. How about getting back to our little board, because there was a lot of things. Now, front page was up top. Sports was beneath economy. Looks good. Personalities was in the end of the row, or wasn't it? Let's see what it said. Front page, yes, personalities is at the end of the row. Yeah. and I put it down there because this one is loose. So we only have these two left. Let's see if we can find yet another one. Interestingly enough. Anything at Bullings? Nope. To improve the dispatch filing, propose major info up high, except news in brief, minor info down low, except police law. Thus in future propose also to invert news in brief is for the moment up high and police law, which is actually down low. Furthermore, the weather section is almost always empty. Put it with news in brief, question mark. It's almost always empty. So personality is up, weather empty. No? Okay. Okay. Based on the repair bill, place the news in brief at the top right. Okay. What?
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need to open them discreetly. I must try to unglue the openings.
Okay, we need some sort of steam, perhaps? Any...
I need something.
Yeah, I know. We need some heater stuff. We need some water stuff.
Water.
Yes, we need water.
I need something.
Yeah, we'll put the water on top of that one.
I need something.
What?
I need something.
Like what?
I need something.
Darn. We need something else to put. We are going to make steam, you know. Perhaps we should have something else. Well, we have at least lit it, which is good. Yeah, a pot, of course we need a pot.
I need something.
What?
There, that will provide me with steam.
Exactly. Now.
Open, and it looks like I'm in luck. This envelope contains precious information.
Good. Oh dear, and a lot of it as well. Testimony on the Smith affair. Dr. Win E. Baxter, the East Middlesex coroner, held an inquiry on Saturday, 7th of April, at the London hospital respecting the death of Emma Elizabeth Smith, aged 45, a widow, lately living at 18 George Street, Spitalfields, who, it was alleged, has been murdered. Chief Inspector West at the Honourable Division Police attended for the Commissioners of Police. Mrs. Mary Russell, Deputy Keeper of the Common Lodging House, stated that she had known the deceased for about 2 years. On the evening of Bank Holiday, 2nd of April. She left home at 7 o'clock and returned about 4 or 5 the next morning in a dreadful state. Her face and head were much injured, one of her ears being nearly torn off. She told the witness that she has been set upon and robbed of all her money. Witness took her to the hospital, and when passing along Osborne Street, the deceased pointed out the spot where she was assaulted. Osborne Street, all right. She said there were 3 men, but she could not describe them. Mr. George Haslip, house surgeon, stated that when the deceased was admitted to the hospital, she had been drinking but was not intoxicated. She was bleeding from the head and ear and had other injuries of a revolting nature. Witness found that she was suffering from rupture of the peritoneum. Sorry, Jacob's mom can't pronounce it. Peritoneum, which had been perforated by some blunt instrument used with great force. The deceased told him that at 1:30 that morning she was passing near Whitechapel Church. We know where that one is, when she noticed some men coming towards her. She crossed the road to avoid them, but they followed, assaulted her and took all the money she had, and then committed the outrage. She was unable to say what kind of instrument was used, nor could she describe her assailants, except that she said that one was a youth of 19. Death ensued on Wednesday morning, 4th of April, through peritonitis set up by the injuries. Margaret Hayes, living at the same address as the deceased, deposed to seeing Mrs. Smith in company with a man at the corner of Farron Street and Burden Road. The man was dressed in a dark suit and wore a white silk handkerchief round his neck. Now there's always some sort of scarf and stuff. Perhaps he's covering up some sort of tattoo or something. We never know. He was of medium height. Yeah, that's okay. But witness did not think she could identify him. Chief Inspector West H Division stated that he had no official information on the subject and was only aware of the case through the daily papers. He had questioned the constables on the beat, but none of them appeared to know anything about the matter. The coroner said that from the medical evidence, which must be true, it was clear that the woman had been barbarously murdered. It was impossible to imagine a more brutal and dastardly assault, and he thought that the ends of justice would be better met by the jury recording their verdict at once than by adjourning to some future date in the hope of having more evidence brought before them. The jury returned a verdict of willful murder against some person or persons unknown. The police are making every possible inquiry into the case, but up to yesterday, 8th of April, had not any clue to the persons who committed the outrage. Now, according to Sherlock Holmes, the guy is evolving, the murderer is evolving. Now, here he didn't use the real type of if it is him, or if this is Jack the Ripper. In that case, he didn't use the right type of weapon. He did not set himself out for the lower part of the body, unless, of course, I'm totally mistaken. There was some ripping of the ear and stuff. And he might have mistaken Mrs. Smith for a prostitute, because he's not totally sure that she was. She was a widow. And she was pretty old as well, I suppose. Age 45. Now that's not really a good age for a prostitute anyway. It doesn't say anything what she was doing. Her face and head were much injured, one of her ears being nearly torn off. Now she was probably robbed by some, and then this guy suddenly drops by and thinks, yeah, that's probably the best way. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. Oh, we had more dear, oh dear, oh dear. Testimony of the Tabram case. Last day of inquest, Thursday, 23rd of August, 1888. Yesterday afternoon, 23rd of August. Mr. George Collier, the Deputy Coroner for South East Middlesex, resumed the inquiry of the Working Lads Institute, Whitechapel, into the circumstances attending the death of Martha Turner, or Tabram, a hawker, lately living on 4-Star Place, Star Street, Commercial Road East, who was discovered early in the morning of Tuesday, the 7th. This 7th. Lying dead on the first floor landing of some model dwellings known as George Yard Buildings, Commercial Street, Spitalfields. When found, the woman presented a shocking appearance, there being 39 stab wounds on the body, some of them apparently having been inflicted with a bayonet. Now that's true, because they are both blunt and hard, often steel. Alfred George Crow, cab driver, 35 years of age, George Yard Buildings, deposed that he got home at 3:30 on Tuesday morning. As he was passing the first floor landing, he saw a body lying on the ground. He took no notice, as he was accustomed to seeing people lying about there. He did not then know whether the person was alive or dead. He got up at 9:30, and when he went down the staircase, the body was not there. Witness heard no noise while he was in bed. The body was not there.